G'day guys, Luke here. Welcome back to another video. In today's video guys, we're doing the Reptile update for September 2022. Let's jump straight into it as a fair bit has changed over the last month. First of all, we'll quickly pop in to Bo, who is one of 3 Eastern Blue Tongue skinks. There he is. He's doing quite well, enjoying his new home. Last month he was in a 3-foot cage and now he's upgraded to a 4-foot enclosure. I won't bother too much with the detail on his enclosure, as Bo's enclosure is pretty similar to Bluey, who we'll get to in a moment. Next up, we'll go down to Blaine, who is my lowland blotched blue tongue. So she's a different species of blue tongue. She's still in a 3-foot enclosure, but into a more darker enclosure, I would say. She in here? Yes, she is. Hey Blaine, how you doing? So Bo's doing quite well. She's been more active, getting out more and more, gaining more confidence, which is good to see. Now her enclosure is different to the other blue tongue skinks we have in the family. So 3-foot, couple of hides, backing, got a heat lamp at the back there, her UV up here, couple of rocks and whatnot. Food bowl, water bowl, another hide there. But yeah, that's really about it for Blaine. Right now we'll get down to Bluey and talk about his setup and Bo's, and maybe as well as Monty's, because they're all pretty identical. So Bluey, Bo and Monty are in 4-foot enclosures. Got the heat lamps, UV, the respective backings, nice big hide for them, couple of rocks and a brick in their enclosures just to help them get on top of their hides, fake plant, food bowl and water bowls, along with coconut fibre as a substrate. Let's say hello to Bluey. Hey Bluey! So Bluey and Bo are brothers. I had to separate them about 5 years ago, roughly, as they started fighting each other. The worst part of that was when I was doing my HSC, which was not fun. Trying to study and then all you hear is Bluey and Bo absolutely destroying each other. Oh well, they're separated now and no more fighting. Next down these guys, we've got Monty, who's out and about today. Hey big boy. He's doing quite well. He's getting more active as the weather here in Australia started to warm up from the cold winter we had. It's still a bit cold at the moment, but we're getting warmer and warmer days at the moment. So that's Monty's enclosure. Like I said, quite similar to Bluey. It's good to see this guy out. Usually he's in his hide sulking or doesn't want to come out. But yeah, we'll move on to Billy. Billy's just behind a fake plant there. So Billy here is the youngest blue tongue we have in the family. She's about 18 months old. She was a rescue. I would say rescue because she had a bit of a damaged tail and she was looking pretty bad when I first got her. But now she's a big bulky girl. She's housed in a 100 centimetre enclosure. So in between Blaine's and Bluey's size enclosures. Still doing well. She's got a hide, her UV, backing, a couple of fake plants, food bowl, water bowl, her substrate, couple of rocks, and she's got a heat pad underneath the enclosure where that hide is, so she will keep warm over night time. As I'm trying to keep her nice and healthy and happy. And at the moment she's in that corner trying to get out. Naughty girl. We'll go up here next to these set of enclosures here. So these 3 here are all 30 by 30 centimetre enclosures. Then this was a 30 by 15, I think. However, we'll move on. Let's pop into Charcoal and say hello to the little guy. Now Charcoal here is my little spine-tailed gecko. I think it's the eastern form. Where are you? There he is. He likes to hide right up there. Do you want to come out, say hello? Hello buddy, you doing good? What I might do, I'll put a photo up of him that I took the other day, as he looked very cute and very handsome, I would say. So in his enclosure, it's got a few branches for him to climb up on, water bowl in the back corner, nice decent hide, fake plant and sand as a substrate. He shares his heat pad with his neighbour, who is Valentino. Now Valentino is a baby children's python, about 6 months old now, coming up to 7. So at the moment I'm keeping these simple, just so that way they're not overstressed or too busy, I would say. So he should be in his hide. There he is. So Valentino there is in the shed, so he's not looking as bright and colourful as he usually is, but we'll wait and see how he looks after he's shed. So with he and his sibling Chewbacca, who we'll get to in a moment, got 2 hides each, a water bowl, a stick for him to climb up on, and just paper towel for the time being, quite a little, as well as a heat pad to keep him nice and warm. So I think I saw Valentino, too many animals to keep track of. Saw Chewbacca, yep, he's in this back corner. Hey buddy! No biting. This guy's a very stunning little snake. I haven't shown much of these guys at all since we've had them, as I hatched them out earlier this year. So here's Chewbacca. One thing I really find interesting about him is that nice stripe that goes along his spine, down his tail. But he's doing quite well. These two are smashing food. When they were born, they were so tiny. Honestly, I don't know how these things survive out in the wild. But saying that, they're going well. Nice and small. Got a lot to grow and do, however, these guys. This one I'm about to show you next is not exactly my snake. I'm just still looking after it for a friend of mine. As this one here is not eating on its own. And of course, it's done a Houdini act on me. Right, give me an idea. So Chewbacca, Valentino, and this little guy here, all roughly the same age. But this one, he's not eating on his own. So I have to force feed him. Pretty tiny, isn't he? So hopefully he'll start eating on his own soon. Yeah. So that way he can go to his new family. Don't know what my friend has named him yet, but feel free to leave that in the comments, my friend. That way people can know what you've named this little snake. Now you go back in your hide to keep warm. Alright. Cheeky little snake. Now, best part about these 3 I've got here at the moment, the parents I have. Because obviously they were the ones who laid the eggs for me. So up here in this, let's say almost 3-foot enclosure, we've got Emma and Zula. So here's Emma. He's the dad. He's a very proud father, a very protective boyfriend or husband, depending what you want to call it, to his girlfriend. So where he is now, there's a heat pad underneath the enclosure. Got a branch in there, backing, fake plant, substrate, rock, a couple of rocks I should say. Another hide there, water bowl, and in the egg box, because it is coming up to that season where we should get eggs again. So I'm getting ready, so all the females that I have know where to go. And in there we have Azula, who's the proud mum and a very beautiful mother. I don't want to disturb her too much because she may be ovulating and getting ready to lay soon. I'll probably predict she'll lay around October or November. But keep tuned, guys. You never know when you guys will see a video of these guys laying eggs. Now, next up we have Pedro, who is in this 2-foot enclosure. I'll be honest, I don't see much of Pedro anymore. However, his species is a nocturnal species, so he might be out when I'm dead asleep. Tell me, dude. Ugh. He's not coming out to say hello. Just do this. Hey, Pedro. Oh. And bye, Pedro. So Pedro there was a pink-tongued skink. He's doing quite well. He's still healthy. He's just not as active as he used to be. But his house is a 2-foot enclosure. We've got a backing, couple of branches and vines for him to climb up on, a couple of fake plants, a couple of hides to help with the security, make him feel secure, I should say. Food bowl and water bowl. Got his UV lamp up here, and he's got a heat pad underneath that hide there. It's funny how these guys don't tend to stay out and say hello anymore. From a skink to a dragon. So down in here, still sleeping, we have young Crystal, who is my female pygmy big dragon. Unfortunately, we lost Bam Bam not too long after last month's Reptile Room video went up. He just passed away from old age, so we've got Crystal now and Akko, the only 2 dragons in the family, but better than nothing, I suppose, but it's nature's way. Crystal, however, she's just been sleeping non-stop lately, being a lazy little thing, aren't you, Crystal? So she's housed in a 2-foot enclosure. In the enclosure, we've got the heat, UV, backing. We've got the ornaments, a couple of branches, a hide, water bowl and food bowl, and sand as a substrate. But yeah, I like to see this girl out more often. But when the weather warms up, we should see her more often. Fingers crossed. Now we're going down here next into this 3-foot enclosure. This houses 2 of my blonde spotted pythons. So I've got children pythons and blonde spotted pythons in the family. Alright, so before we show off these 2 beautiful girls, we've got 3 hides, heat, just a normal light, backing, we've got a branch, fake plant, couple of rocks, nice big water bowl for them. It's funny, I don't see these 2 out often anymore either. So they still could be settling into the new house, even though we moved almost 2 months ago. Come on, you 2, say hello. No. So their names are Superstar and Graham. So the one that had my thumb tickling the belly is Superstar, and this one down here is Graham. Oh, here we go, we've got a head popping out. So that little head there is Graham. She's coming down to say hello. Is Superstar going to do the same? Oh, there we go. So the head that's going back into the darkness is Graham, and then Superstar is that one there. Superstar is the eldest reptile I have in the family. She's 12.5 years old, approaching 13 this year. So they are pretty cool little pets, these guys. Love them, all of my reptiles dearly. Trying to get them back in their hide. At this time of year, Graham goes off food while Superstar she eats, unless she's in deep shed. However, she smashes food like no tomorrow. Well, I'm not looking forward to the next part, because the room I'm in now is much more narrow, and I have to wedge myself between the bed and the enclosures. We go down to these 2 ones, so they're out of the way. So from another pair of spotted pythons to another pair of children pythons. So in this 2.5-foot enclosure, we have Aaron and Caesar, who are another pair of children pythons I'm trying to breed this year. No one's home in there. It must be in the egg box. Caesar is a very protective snake, so we just got to be careful when I check on these 2. I reckon Aaron, she'll probably lay late September, early October. That's my guess. How am I going to do this? Both are going off food for the time being, but when it warms back up, we should be fine. Here we go. So they're locked up. So Caesar is the one on top, while Aaron's the one underneath him hiding her little face. He loves his girl dearly. I'll pop this back over so they no longer are disturbed. So there we go, guys. We caught those 2 in the act, so to speak. Any little kids watching this, ask your parents what I'm on about. Sorry, parents, I'm just making this a very awkward video now for you. Oh well. Oh, that one not happening. So in the enclosure, we have a heat pad that's shared with another snake who we'll get to in a moment. We've got a backing, a couple of hides. Well, this is a hide, that's the egg box. A couple of rocks, fake plants in here, and a little light strip just to light up the enclosure. But all is well, plus the water bowl. Gotta make sure this is closed properly. Don't want snakes escaping. Right. So next one is same size, different species however. So in here we have Diablo now, who is my brown tree snake. I know exactly where he is. He's up there in that hide. If I can see him. How will I do this? Hey Diablo. Can you come out and say hello, buddy? Is this a yes or no? Oh, there he is. Hey buddy, how you doing? So Diablo, he's my brown tree snake. He's doing quite well. Boy, that wasn't very nice. I suppose I disturbed your slumber, hey? Look at you, being a tough little snake. Like I said, he's doing well, considering he's not happy. But yeah, he's got his backing that he's currently sitting in his cave there. Hey buddy. Alright, I'll leave you be. He's got his branch. We've got a fake plant, a couple other little branches in here. He's got his hide. And he's got another hide over there, I should say as well. Water bowl. Paper towel for the time being. We are going to put some natural substrate in there soon for him. Oh, you're not happy. Sorry, Diablo. Please forgive me. And he shares a heat pad with Aaron Caesar. But there you go, guys. He's not pleased. Oi! Cut it out. Oh well. I gave you a nice home, a much bigger house, I should say, and you give me that attitude? Come on, man. Anyway, we'll stop my blubbering. Alright, next up we've got the diva of the reptile room, Miss Akko. So Akko here is my Eastern War Dragon. She's doing quite well. She's starting to shed her skin around her face at the moment. Lately she has not been happy with me, so I'm not going to disturb her too much. She's housed in a 4-foot enclosure. We've got a heat, UV, hammock, a couple of branches, a couple of pieces of wood, food bowl, water bowl, a couple rocks in here, got a fake plant, her diva sign that mum gave her, because she's such a diva, aren't you? You're a funny girl. But yeah, that's the enclosure. That stick in there is new. I decided to add another climbing option for her, even though she hasn't really used it much since I put it in there last weekend, but you never know. Over time, hopefully she uses it more. However, she has used it as a diving board, so it's funny as hopefully next time I can catch that on film, because I think it'll be very funny to share. That's Akko. Up here now, we've got Siri, who is my sand simmer, housed in a enclosure that's just below 2 feet. She's got a heat pad here, very thick layer of sand, water bowl, fake plant, and a hide. Here comes the fun part, trying to find this lizard. She's pretty big now. Unless she's in there. No, thought it might make it easier. Where's this lizard? She's probably evading me. Oh, found her. Hey, Siri. Give her the name. There she is. I'm sorry. Can we just see you for 2 seconds, please, Siri? There she is. Okay, you can go back to whatever you're doing before. But yeah, Sue's doing well, smashing food, gaining weight. I would love to weigh her myself, but she's so fast and very unpredictable. I don't want to lose her. Now, her neighbour is Rosie. For those who don't know who Rosie is, he's my little Reptile monitor. He's now housed in a 3-foot enclosure. Before we get to him, however, we've got his water bowl, sand, 2 hides here. We actually use a bit of a paper towel roll, cut it in half and use it as a tunnel for him. A fake plant, backing, UV and heat. And his third hide here, which is his favourite. Hey, buddy. Had a good meal of woodies this morning. Here he is. Hey, buddy. You gonna say hello? There he is. He's getting nice and chunky and he's getting more feral. But he's still such a sweet thing. After a couple of minutes of realising who I am, he's actually not as bad as Ray, who we'll get to later in the video. Right, you calm down. So that's it for this room. We're going to the other room and see the rest of the reptile family. Rightio, we are in the other room now with the other family members. We'll start up here with Chappie and Orchid, who are getting absolutely monstrous. I'm going to build their enclosure later today, so hopefully next time you guys see these guys, they'll be in a brand new enclosure. So Chappie's this more darker one here. Well, if we go to this side, this body here belongs to Orchid. Now, I did catch these two in the act the other day, so we may get some eggs, we may not. But fingers crossed, as it'll be awesome, however. So in a 4-foot enclosure, they're going into a 6-foot enclosure soon. They've got a heat lamp, a light strip they share with Chris and the other 2 snakes down there, who we'll get to in a moment. Got their hammock, big hide, substrate, water bowl. They're backing a fake little plant there. And then next box that they can either sit on top of, or they can go in and rest on the sphagnum moss. And hopefully Orchid gets the idea she'll lay her eggs in there if she decides to become a mother. But those are those 2. So hopefully when we see them next, they'll be in a nice big house. Speaking of big stuff, down here we've got Chris, who is my black-headed python. Now he's getting big, but he doesn't like big spaces, this guy. He prefers to be wedged in stuff. Hey Chris, can we come in and say hello, buddy? Hello, buddy. Come on, can you come out and say hello? Where's that little blackhead of yours, say? No biting. That there, no biting. Come on. So while he's trying to get himself sorted, he's housed in a 4-foot enclosure. Got a heat element there, nice big hide there, a fake plant, water bowl, substrate, and his log hide. And what we might do is just say hello this way. And there's his head. he's doing quite well, smashing food. I'm glad he's not trying to bite me when it's feeding time. Usually he has a bad habit of trying to bite me as I'm feeding him. But let's be honest, if you're feeding something, always expect to get bitten. He'll sort himself out. He's not dumb, even though he can be sometimes. Anyway, we move down here now to Atrium and Aurelia, who are my two diamond pythons. Recently just put in this enclosure. Their substrate is drying at the moment, so that's why I'm on paper towel for the time being. In the enclosure, we've got a couple of backings in there for a nice stick. Well, I won't say nice, but a stick that they can climb on. A heat element to keep them warm. Paper towel, like I said, but they will go into coconut fibre substrate very shortly. And I've got 5 heights in here to choose from, so I've got plenty of options. The water bowl there. I'll come in and say hello to these guys. So the one that you can see at the moment is my good friend Atrium. It's a very easy-going snake. And his friend Aurelia, who's there, currently in a shed. So he doesn't want to be shown for too long. Yeah, hey guys. I need to get your hides I need to get you guys a bigger hide soon. For whatever reason, that's your favourite. Come on, don't be fat snakes. You can both fit in that hide somehow. But yeah, they're both doing well. I used to have a different kind of backing in here. However, the one I designed before, it just exploded on me when I was trying to put it in here. So razor backing is in here, and that's a new piece there. I thought I'd mention that to you guys. But they're doing well. Close it up. We don't want snakes roaming free in the house. That will be a nightmare. Right, these next enclosures, which are 3 foot in length, house 2 more carpet pythons. So in this one here we have Molly, who is my beautiful jungle carpet python. We've got a heat, just a normal display light, a backing, got a couple of fake plants in here, her hide, water bowl and a substrate. She's not exactly the healthiest snake in the world, but like I said, about a year ago she had an operation due to a lump in her belly that could have been fatal. So I've been told just to feed her small food items from now on. But however, she's doing quite well after that and would take food any day of the week. So besides the operation she had last week, she's doing quite well. She will go from there, back over there, there, back and forth all the time. So she's doing wonderful, wonderful. Now, finally, you're out of bed. This here is Charles, who is my albino carpet python. He's doing well. He's starting to eat again, which is always good to see. In this enclosure, we've got his hammock, heat lamp, display light there. Got his nice rock hide he can sleep in. A couple of rocks in here, termite hide. He's kind of outgrown that, so I might have to do something for him quite soon. Got his water bowl, substrate, and trying to figure out a way to put this branch in there for him. That way he's got something else to sit on, along with his beautiful backing as well. But yeah, Charles is doing fantastic, eating once more, and being a little troublemaker that he is at times. Now, to the last animal of the reptile room. Down here we have Ray. So last time you guys would have seen Ray, she was housed in a, 4-foot enclosure, so what Bo is in currently. Now we've built her a nice 6-foot enclosure. In her enclosure we've got a substrate, a couple of rocks, 2 hides, got a couple of pieces of wood in here for her to climb up on. We've got a backing, 2 UV lights, a heat light, and then a couple of fake plants as well. Ray is doing awesome, smashing food, enjoying the new space she has. I have a feeling she won't last long in here because she's growing very quickly. So I might have to sort something out again very, very soon. But yeah, that's Ray and the whole rest of the reptile family. I'll wrap it up here, guys. So thank you guys for watching. And I'll see you all in another video.